Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. It's Bassem Khalaf here, and I just wanted to say before I get started, thank you very much for everybody who has subscribed to me. I have finally reached 10 subscribers. I know it's not a lot, but I just want to say thank you to everybody that has subscribed, liked, and shared my videos. It means a lot to me. Like I have mentioned before, the show's only going to get better from here as sports start to come back. We got the NBA, NFL, MLB, all that good stuff coming back. And once I start, getting a little bit more familiar with this whole YouTube system, I don't even know what's going on with my mic. I've switched it around about 3 times so far. So, yeah, once again, thank you all. With that being said, I am going to give you guys a little brief description of what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to discuss a little bit about the KBO. Unfortunately, not much action last night. I am going to talk about UFC 251, which was full of action. I'm going to mostly talk about the main event and what I thought about Usman's performance. And last but not least, I will be talking about the NBA bubble. And fortunately, we've been able to get some pictures from the players. A lot of them are live streaming on Instagram and whatnot. I'm going to talk about what I can expect from their performances based on how their bubble is looking. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So not much action going on in the KBO last night as 4 of the games were completely postponed. The only game that was able to get a start was at NC Dinos. However, that game was cut short in the second inning. Based on my pick yesterday, it was not looking good early. Their ace left-handed pitcher Koo Chang Mo allowed 2 early runs for the Dinos. This man averages a ERA of 1.5, so he was already above that limit, and he hasn't even gone through the second inning yet. Ooh, I'm glad that game was canceled. In terms of the games tonight, they all have asterisks on them, which again means that there is a possible rain delay or a postpone. So I am not going to make any predictions for that. But yeah, with that being said, really not much to talk about in terms of KBO last night. I am looking forward to the games next week. What a great event we had at UFC 251. From the early prelims all the way through to the main card, people put on a show left and right. The performance of the night went to Davy Grant and Jiri Prochaska. Now this guy Jiri, making his UFC debut, put on a hell of a show. When he first came out, I was kind of surprised on his unorthodox style. He was moving his arms around, grabbing his wrists and whatnot. And to get that second round knockout, that was absolutely amazing. Now, transitioning into the main event, Masvidal facing that short notice on 6 days, flying out to Dubai, all this type of stuff going up against him. The way he performed, I would say he did a really good job considering he was fighting for that title. Usman, to say the least, I was kind of underwhelmed with his performance. I was already aware of his grappling skills, and that's obviously what approach he wanted to take with a striker like Masvidal himself. But the whole foot stomping situation, come on, I understand that's a technique, but to use that throughout the whole fight in order to try to slow him down, I wasn't a big fan of that. Overall, it was a really great event, and I look forward to hopefully having some predictions for the UFC card coming up. UFC Fight Night, which is going to be this Wednesday. I believe that's going to be July 15th, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to try my best to do all my research in time and have some picks ready for you guys to discuss. As we're seeing these teams slowly transition into the NBA bubble that Adam Silver has put together in Orlando at the Walt Disney Resort, it's exciting to see some of the things that these players have been posting. I'm going to be posting some pictures to my right as I talk about this. Some of the players are really not feeling the food that has been handed out. Some claim that it looks like airplane food. I even seen Isaiah Thomas joke around that LeBron James is not eating that stuff, which he could be right about. Other than that, I did see the game rooms that it's like a little players lounge, which looks pretty cool. Players are gonna get to spend time together and whatnot. They all are within a facility that they would not be able to exit, so there shouldn't really be much COVID concerns. But the concerns that we did hear about is from the coaches who are of 60 age and plus. And one voice that did speak out about the situation, which is no surprise to everybody, Greg Popovich. He did say this is the safest he's felt during the pandemic, so that's really awesome news. Other than that, these players are going to start having to kick things to gear because games are going to be approaching in the next couple weeks. And, when it comes to game speed and whatnot, nothing's the same until you step on that game floor. You can practice as much as you want, but once you get onto that game floor, things just move a little bit different pace. In terms of the rankings, I still do have the Los Angeles Lakers as my favorite to win the finals right now. I mean, when you look at a 37-year-old LeBron James that is still dominating like he was when he was 21 years old, that's just a scary sight to see alongside the best big man in the league, Anthony Davis. The only team I could see slowing them down is their next door rivals, the Los Angeles Clippers. They are deep as well. Of the East Coast, I mean, when you look at the teams that are coming out of there, it's going to either be the Bucks, the Miami Heat, the Toronto Raptors. I mean, these teams do have some really good players, like Giannis, Jimmy Butler, and whatnot. But I just don't see anybody keeping up with either the Lakers or Clippers. This is going to be something I am going to keep updating you guys with in terms of power rankings. A lot of people are saying that the Houston Rockets are the dark horse to come out of there just because of their play style. They're a little bit more faster than everybody and whatnot. But I truly believe that lack of center is going to really come back to haunt them. Because when you look at the teams that are going to be most likely coming into the Western Conference semifinals and the conference finals, they all have some decent big men, whether it's the Clippers with their size with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George as their forwards, or when it's the Lakers with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard. Even from the East Coast, who's going to stop Giannis if the Rockets happen to be in the NBA Finals? I mean, this is all things to consider. It is still early. We still need to see how things are going to play out with this whole Corona thing going on. But to finish it all off, I do think Lakers are my favorite right now. I'm going to start posting power rankings, updating you guys weekly based on how the games go. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Beat the Odds. I'm glad I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable with speaking into this microphone. I know it's going to take some time getting used to, but thank you guys for tuning in once again. I will be back on tomorrow. I will have some picks, and I am going to get into soccer, which I have been lacking on, but I promise you guys I'm going to be bringing you guys that soon. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back tomorrow.